What's up? I'm Logan Mills, and we have a cool new series. We actually have two new series. This one called Technique Tuesday. It's to help you learn techniques on different lures throughout your fishing career. Now it's going to be on every different type of technique that I can think of, with many different lures, many as I have. And the other one, which kind of breaks this more down, is Stay Hooked Thursday, and you'll be able to go more depth and learn more about what this bait is. But today I have a jig. Very simple, fun, catches some big fish type of bait. One of my favorites. This bait here imitates a crawfish scurrying across the bottom. Now, as you can see, I have, maybe it might be too far, but rocks. That's my favorite place to throw this crawfish, just because that's where a lot of crawfish live. This bait is really simple. One thing I like about it is you can cast it a mile out there. So, of course, it depends on the jig you have. If you have a swim jig, of course you swim it, you reel it, or you can work it super fast on the bottom. But today I have a football jig. And so there's two ways I really like to work it. So one way is you cast it out there, wherever, rock pile, wherever you're fishing, and you take it and you let it sink to the bottom, and you do this. You just move it, you just drag it slowly across the bottom. Oh, as you can see, I'm hung in some rocks now. Well, that stinks. Well, oh, there it goes. One thing there. Kind of easy to get out of if you get hung up. But what this is imitating is that little crawfish scurrying like this across the bottom, going up and popping over and down rocks. And this imitates crawfish scurrying away. Bass sees it, wants to eat it. Of course, he'll come up and grab it. This is my personal favorite way, just because it's subtle and it's a simple, easy way, and it's a good way that you can either feel it, you feel the lure across the bottom with either your hand on the rod, or you can look at the tip of your rod, and as it's going through the rocks, it pulls back. Now, another way that you can throw it, I do it sometimes. Of course, I prefer the first way. Is I would do this when the bass are more aggressive, they're feeding more. Because you can take your rod up and you pop it, like you hop it. I like the more subtle approach. That's just my opinion. Of course, you can throw it however you want to, but this, I'm doing this, I'm popping it, hopping over those rocks. It's jumping, giving it more action. The little tails on the crawl is fluttering like that. And it gives it more action. And your fish are hungry, they'll come up, smoke it. And then you can set the hook and catch them. Of course, you have to set the hook a little harder, and I'm hung up again, with with throwing a jig. That's why I like throwing more of a heavy rod. I'm sure this I'm a little hung up here, so this is my favorite. I like a 7.3 medium heavy, just because it gives me that backbone, because when I'm throwing a jig, it has that weed guard on there, and you got to get the hook through the weed guard and through the fish's mouth. So you have to have that extra backbone when you set the hook to make sure it goes through that and you get a good hook set. And I'm gonna go get this unstuck, and I think that's all for Technique Tuesday. See you on the next one. Boom.